Scorpio August 2017. Hi guys, I'm Lada from astrolada.com. After a month break, I'm back. That's the first break I ever took in 7 years, so hope you missed me. Here is your horoscope for August 2017. If you have your ascendant, sun or even moon in Scorpio, and I'll be closely watching all Scorpio predictions from now on because my baby has moon and ascendant in Scorpio, and we're seeing that the eclipses trigger very strongly Scorpio because they're happening in the 4th and 10th houses. And by the way, it's eclipse season in August. How long have we been talking about that eclipse that's happening, the big solar eclipse? Especially people in the States will be so strongly affected because they see it throughout all of the states. And if you're a Scorpio living in the States, wow, you know, it might be a life-changing experience for many. So let's start with the lunar eclipse. And this lunar eclipse is happening on the 7th of August, but its influence will last at least 40 days very strongly after the lunar eclipse. And it's happening in your 4th house of home, property, place of living, family members. And this lunar eclipse is about something. This lunar eclipse, it's a full moon. It's a full moon on steroids. But it is about reaching its completion, because its full moon is the moon can't grow anymore, it can't get bigger. So you're seeing the results of something, whether it's you're building a house, you're completing it, you're seeing the results of it, whether it's your, you know, the house you live in reaches the highest price it can go to, and after that it can't go furthermore, you know, especially if your ascendant is in Scorpio, then your 4th house very likely will be in Aquarius and the eclipse is happening there. So something is reaching to a completion. Maybe you're completing something in your home family life. Maybe you're completing living in some place, for example, as well. And maybe there can be some kind of a little crisis with family members, with mother, with place, you know, with mother, you know, 4th house rules the mother or family members, because lunar eclipses make people much more sensitive. It's happening in your 4th house of family members, and it can shake up a little bit the foundation of your life, of your family. And you might be asked to release something over the next month and a half in August, to release something in regards to property, in regards to family, in regards to relationships with family, in regards to how you deal with your loved ones and your family in your personal life, because this lunar eclipse is with the South Node. South Node is about letting go, releasing of something. Maybe let go of a place that you lived in. Maybe let go to an attachment of a place. Maybe let go of something. It will help you let go of something from the past. The 4th house is the past, from our childhood. That is kind of like determining the psychological foundation for us. But it can shake you up a bit psychologically. There can be some strong effect with your family, strong focus there, something coming to completion, but also some kind of a mini crisis that you have to overcome as well. But at the same time, the full solar eclipse, which is new moon, is happening in your 10th house, Scorpios. So this solar eclipse will have effect for 6 months after that. So till February, and this solar eclipse is about gaining something new because it's with Rahu, the north node of the moon. Just like the lunar eclipse is in August in particular is about letting go of something, this solar eclipse is about gaining something new over the next 6 months. And it's a new beginning as well. New moon is new beginning. Solar eclipse is usually new beginnings, but because it's with Rahu, this new beginnings will bring more material kind of success in some sort, or more growth of some sort, because Rahu rules those things. And it's happening in your 10th house of career and social status. So maybe you'll be asked to kind of leave a little bit the comfort of your home, you know, letting go of 4th house, home, family, and to focus more on coming out into the world. Maybe some kind of a career. There might be a big career shift. If you happen to be Scorpio ascendant, to a lesser degree sun or moon in Scorpio, there might be a big shift in your career, in your social status over the next 6 months. The ancients said that when there is an eclipse on your midheaven or your 10th house, you become like a king. I remember there was an eclipse within 4 or 5 degrees of my 10th house a few years ago, and this is when, from working for myself, I started working with 15 astrologers and psychics. North Node, expansion, growth, solar eclipse, new beginnings, 10th house, career. So I didn't become a queen, but I didn't become like a king, but I became like a king of my little kingdom. There was expansion in my career. So there is a bigger likelihood, guys, for a big shift in career and big shift in your social status, and there might be the need to let go of focus on family and focus more on career. And if you're a baby, I don't know how it's gonna work out, but maybe your mom might be a bit detached and not have time for you, like in the case of my baby, because Ketu is there with the full moon. Anyway, so that's what the eclipses can bring for you guys. Let's see what else is happening. Mercury is going retrograde on the 13th of August and will stay retrograde till the 5th of September. So for almost 3 weeks. And it's happening in your 11th house, Scorpio. And that's friendships and your social circle. You might be kind of whittling down some friends from your life, re-examining certain friendship contracts, so to speak, having important conversations with friends and with people from your environment, whether it's from your social circle of some sort, or maybe old friends from the past that you haven't heard from can come back. Retrogradation is about things from the past coming back to us, or maybe something unsaid and unspoken to some people, because 11th house rules, it's a social house of people, can come to the surface now, because Mercury is retrograde, which means things that you've wanted to say for a long time, but you've been either burying or you've been dismissing, now become imperative that you say them. So there might be either kind of some confrontation with friends and burst up, that you in the social environment that you've built up enough now, and Mercury goes retrograde from the middle of August, and you kind of have to speak this up. Or it might be that friends speak to you, or people in your groups, members and groups, you know, of any kind of, if you're a member of any groups or you work in a big circle of people, you know, the 11th house can also be colleagues and stuff like that, that those important conversations are brought to the surface for you to clarify and even to reassess those friendships, to reassess those connections that you have, to reassess those business connections. It might be also connected to business, and if they're not the right ones, even to release them or to edit them, to fix them, to improve them. And the 11th house rules our long-term goals and our dreams and wishes. And you might be required to use extra efforts and skills, which is Mercury. And when it's retrograde, we have to use 3 times more skills and efforts in regards to working on some goals or object in August and part of September, Scorpios. So something that you have to put extra efforts, but that will bring you more financial rewards and more gains. But something that, you know, you might have worked on it before, but now it comes back because there's certain things to perfect, to, you know, to improve somehow on. And it might be a bit frustrating because you thought, oh, I'm finished with that. But it comes back and you have to do it better, and you have to put more efforts. No one likes doing that, of course, and pay more attention to detail. But if you do that, it can be very commercially and financially, because 11th house is house of gains, finances, you know, can be very commercially and financially beneficial, but you'll probably see the benefits of that after September, you know, when Mercury is moving forward out of the shadow, as they say. So yeah, important negotiations, renegotiations of terms, of friendships, of acquaintances of some sort. Someone from the past, again, as I said, can get in touch with you. Acquaintance that can also help you for the long term with some kind of a narrow specialty skills, because it's happening in Virgo. Basically to perfect a project, to perfect a product of some sort. This is Virgo, perfecting, adding it, improving it, you know, some kind of a long-term goal of yours, and help you fulfill a long-term goal of yours. So that's what I have for you, Scorpios. And by the way, the Sun and Mars rules you, Scorpio, are in your 10th house, which means very busy month for your career. You know, the Sun and the Mars are the 2 proactive masculine planets. Wherever they are moving, this is where you put the action, basically. And in the 10th house is your social status. You might have the opportunity in August now to kind of transform your social status, to put more efforts. You might have to work harder with some worldly duties and responsibilities, but you'll be noticed and you'll be recognized for that. And there might be also some authority or boss figures, the 10th house, that are pushing you hardest. And then Mars is like energy, you know, they're asking for energy from you. If you're your own boss, you're super proactive now, super busy month with career, with public projects of some sort, you know, as well. The 10th house is very public, very visible house. With getting in touch with people in authority or institutions of authority of some sort, being proactive with such can bring good results. So, and with your career, you know. So you can start also new career projects, but be careful not 2-3 days before the solar eclipse and 2-3 days after, because the energy is too unsettled. 3 days before and 3 days after a solar eclipse, which is happening on the 21st of August. Don't start totally new things then. It's sensitive time, you know. But before that and after that, it's auspicious. So thank you so much, Scorpio, and I will see you next month.